I was wondering, you talked about the New York City Wildflower Week, and so it's in its 5th year, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
And I was just wondering what the community reaction was, if you know what the turnout was, and how the community reacted to this.
We've had really good community reaction to it. We partner, I mean, really what New York City Wildflower Week is an umbrella organization, right? So we have lots of partners on the ground. We have about 50 different organizations that are working with us, organizations and individuals who are doing this work for free. So they volunteer their time. And we have money to invest in resources, so like, you know, little booklets that we make for kids and give away. But naturalists in New York are working to reach out to their communities and bring their communities in. So it's very much a grassroots effort in that, you know, we work with pre-existing organizations to kind of get the word out. And we look for people who seem like good partners, people that, you know, I've worked with in the past. So, and we've had a really, really great response. We've had, you know, hundreds of people participating in our events, you know, in person. We get a lot of interest through our website. We have some video tours of natural areas in the city that people really like. So we try to have lots of different ways to kind of get people in, but the best thing is, like, you know, getting them out in person and walking through woods in New York City, because, like, you can't beat that, you know, that's the best. Yeah.
And how did you pick the cities to expand? There's like 5 or so that you're going to?
Yeah, so for our 5th anniversary this year, we're going national, which is exciting, and we're partnering with Atlanta and Chicago and Philadelphia and Los Angeles and Portland.
Okay.
And basically we chose them because I just ended up having like pre-existing relationships with people in those cities. So it was like a really easy, natural fit. And you know, a lot of them are cultural institutions. So for example, in Los Angeles, it's the Los Angeles Natural History Museum. It's the Fernbank Natural History Museum in Atlanta. In Philadelphia, we're looking to the Wagner Institute of Free Science and the Academy of Natural Sciences. But then in Portland, we're tracking to the Intertwine, which is this larger government and environmental organization like partnership. So that would be really cool to partner with them as well. So it's basically, yeah, just that we were like, okay, what would make it national? California from New York, up, down, you know. And it was just like people that I had relationships with, but I wanted to start with a manageable number and then, you know, just kind of see how it went. And then next year, of course, we're hoping to expand and do more cities.
Absolutely.
But we're going to have ways for people to do something during the week, even if they don't live near any of those places. So everyone's welcome to participate.
And what would you suggest if people want to get involved in their own community and there's not like that one week where there's events? How can you get involved when you're not familiar with all the native species and you don't want to, you know, mess things up? How can you get involved in your just own little community and help out the native plants and species?
That's a really good question. I think honestly, to me, always the best way to do it is to go out into a natural area near you. And you know, and if you live in a city, maybe there's not a natural area you can get to really easily via mass transit. In New York City, it's actually hard to get to a lot of the nature that's in the city without a car. But, you know, take a walk around your block and just look at the trees that are planted, look at the sidewalk weeds in the ground, look at some of the bees that are flying by. I saw a mourning cloak on my way out to the airport yesterday in New York City. There was a mourning cloak, this beautiful butterfly. It's one of the first to emerge in spring. That was floating through Manhattan. And, you know, I mean, that's real nature. That's a, you know, native species. It's something that is happy in New York City. And it's just kind of opening your eyes to that experience. I feel like that's more than anything else. And then, you know, you gradually do more and more. So you go out into a natural area, you bring a field guide with you, and you try to get a sense of like what some of the plants might be there. There tend to also be a lot of like local web resources. So for plants, you could find a native plant society that might have lists of what grows near you and help you kind of understand what you're looking at. There also tend to be lots of groups that do free tours. So a lot of like botanical clubs and native plant societies offer free tours of natural areas within their sort of jurisdiction. And there are lots of groups that do that. So sometimes just a quick Google search could be really helpful. And then of course Project NOAA that we talked about at the talk. you know, you see something, you don't know what it is, you take a picture of it with your phone, upload it to Project NOAA, and there's a community of people there who are like excited to help you identify it. And just also understand, you know, what you're looking at. Not only is it this plant, you know, not only did I see a butterfly, but it's a mourning cloak. It's native to New York City. You know, it's one of the first butterflies to emerge in the spring. You know, there's a whole story behind these things, and learning the story is the thing that gets people really excited about nature.